This tutorial is for 4th grade Module 3, Lesson 11. In Lesson 11, we're looking at using the partial product method to do multiplication. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem, and by the partial product, we mean that we're going to break apart the problem so we can find the various products and then put it back together. We use an area model to help us do this. The first problem is 4 times 425. I'm going to take my problem and I'm going to line it up on my area model. I'm going to put the 4 along the side. I'm going to take 425 and break it apart into expanded form. So 425 is the same as 400 plus 20 plus 5. This method is called the area model because it uses the formula for area to find the product for each rectangle. So if I start with my smallest rectangle, this rectangle is 5 by 4. So the area model means that we would take 5 times 4 for a product of 20. The next rectangle is 20 by 4. So 20 times 4 is the same as 2 times 4 times 10. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 10 is 80. And in the last rectangle, this rectangle is 400 by 4, which is the same thing as 4 times 4 times 100. 4 times 4 is 16, times 100 would be 1600s, or 1,600. To get my final answer, I just need to add all 3 of my partial products. I can do that over here on the vertical diagram. So I'll start with listing my partial products. So when I took 4 times 5, I got 20. When I take 4 times 20, I get 80. And 4 times 400 was 1,600. I add my partial products. 2 and 8 is 10, 6 and 1 is 7, for a final answer of 1,700. Let's look at another example. Now I have 7 times 534. Again, I'm going to write the 7 along the side, and I'll break 534 into expanded form, which means it's 500 plus 30 plus 4. I'll find the area of each of these rectangles. So this rectangle is 4 by 7. 4 times 7 is 28. The next rectangle is 30 by 7. Well, 3 times 7 is 21, times 10 would be 210. And the next rectangle is 500 by 7. 5 times 7 is 35, times 100 would be 3,500s, or 3,500. I'll transfer these products to the vertical diagram. 7 times 4 again was 28. 7 times 30 was 210. And 7 times 500 is 3,500. We'll add those. We have 8, 2 and 1 is 3, 2 and 5 is 7, and 3. So for a final answer of 3,738. So again, the nice part about the area model is it shows us each step of our multiplication problem and then how they all fit together to give us our final answer. This next problem asks me to represent 4 times as much as 467 on a tape diagram. This is a visual representation of the multiplication problem that's reinforcing the idea that multiplication is a set number of groups of another number. So for the tape diagram, I've drawn an empty tape, and I know that I need to separate it into 4 equal groups. So I'm going to divide my tape diagram into 4 groups, and I know that each group is worth 467. One group would just be 1 times 467, so 4 times that would be 4 groups of 467. So I need to find the total, and it says that I can solve it any way. So I'm going to use partial products to solve this. I'll take 467 times 4 using the partial product method. I'll start with 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 60, since the 6 is in the tens place, I know it's 60, is 240, because 4 times 6 is 24, times 10 is 240. 4 times 400 would be the same as 4 times 4, which is 16, times 100, which is 1600, or 1600. I'll add my partial products. I get 8, 6, 8, and 1 for a final answer of 1868. And again, the tape diagram is just giving us a visual representation of the multiplication problem.